Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I'm your host Bastion. This is Nintendo news. Let's get to that news. First of all, Universal Studios has finally revealed what the heck they're doing with regard to Nintendo rides and attractions, and it's going to be this whole thing, this whole area called Super Nintendo World. At least that's what it's going to be called in Japan. In the Tokyo version, whether they're going to use different names like Super Nintendo Land and Super Nintendo, I don't know, Universe or something for the LA and the Orlando ones, we don't know. Maybe they'll just will call them all Super Nintendo World. But then besides that, they have filed some patents for some new rides, new types of rides that seem suspiciously similar to some Nintendo franchises we are already aware of. One of the rides sounds an awful lot like Mario Kart. It involves carts, so that's obviously Mario Kart, and somebody sits in the front and steers some sort of aspect, somebody sits in the back and steers something, and it's supposed to simulate drifting, so that could be cool. And then the other one is obviously related to Donkey Kong Country, because it takes place on tracks. Like if you've played Donkey Kong Country, you'll remember those sections where you're in a minecart and you're zooming along and then you jump over a gap or jump over other things or whatever, and you go down to the below track or switch up to the above track. It's basically like that. And it sounds really cool. If you want to read more about those, there's a link down there for you. Our next story is very bizarre. It comes from when Mr. Miyamoto was on the Jimmy Fallon show, and it wasn't during that show, like they didn't show this, they just recorded this extra video to release elsewhere on their online version or whatever, but it shows Mr. Miyamoto just randomly guessing the lengths and widths and weights of various objects. He is bizarrely accurate in a lot of them. You're going to want to watch this video. It is strange, but also somehow entertaining. There's a link down there for you. Our next story is about some Nintendo merchandise that's been developed for babies, because babies like Nintendo merchandise? I don't get it at all. It's very strange. It's teething stuff, which is cool, but babies don't know what Nintendo is. I don't know. If you want to look at more of this, there's a link down there for you. Our next story is about the fact that in an interview, Mr. Miyamoto said that back during the Nintendo 64 era, he had come up with an idea very similar to Minecraft. I think he was asked a question like, are there any games you wish you had made or something like that? And he was like, well, Minecraft, but I kind of already did. But apparently they did do some prototypes, but didn't decide to move forward with any of them. If only they had. That would have been an amazing boon for Nintendo. If you want to read more about that, there's a link down there for you. Our next story is about a very mysterious message called L is real, and then some numbers, and a lot of people wondered what the heck this is. Well, what it is it's something that appeared in Super Mario 64. It was, you read a plaque and it just says L is real. A lot of people thought maybe that means that there's a way to unlock Luigi to play as him in Super Mario 64, but that turned out to not be the case. So one fan decided to write to Nintendo and find out exactly what this was about, and Nintendo replied, or some sort of customer service rep replied and said, actually, it isn't anything. It's just some gibberish that we put in there to confuse people and make them curious and make them wonder, think that there's something else. I don't really buy that response from Nintendo. First of all, it's just a random customer service rep. He's not a developer from back in Japan, so what the heck does he know? My guess is that it actually does mean something to whomever programmed that particular section, but that it's like an inside joke or something with him and maybe somebody else on the team. Or maybe him and somebody else in his real life. That's my guess. It's insane to think that it means absolutely nothing. But anyways, if you want to read more about that, there's a link down there for you. And that's it for this episode of Nintendo News. See you guys in a couple days for more news. Bye, guys.